All right, welcome back to another video. This is Angie with Angie's Art and Craft Creations. Today's video we are going to be working with some resin. This is the shell mold that I purchased or got with my March subscription box from Butterfly Lane Designs. Those are some abalone shells that I purchased at Michael's. This is the epoxy that I'm going to use, Counterculture's casting resin. I'm going to take 20 mLs of part A, slowly pour it into the cup so that I get as least amount of bubbles as possible. Once I have that 20 in there, I'm going to add 20 ounces of part A. I usually put part B in first and then I add part A in, because I believe the part B is thicker than the part A. I'm going to add that in. So I'm going to have 40 mLs of the casting resin. All of today's products I will put into my description box below. And I am actually stirring this very slowly. I just sped it up to save time. You got to make sure that you scrape all the sides, scrape your stir stick like that, stir it up. And this stuff really, once I was done stirring for probably 4 to 5 minutes, was quite clear. I was very surprised and very happy. This is the first time I've used this resin. And now I'm going to take some 99% isopropyl alcohol and spray the mold to help with bubbles, the air bubbles, micro bubbles. Stir or squirt a little bit in that cup to get any air bubbles that were there. And then I'm going to add in some of these abalone shells bits, and I stirred up, mixed together way too much for this little mold. So as you'll see further on in the video, I will fill up a couple of other molds. Just slowly put some of the mixture into the mold, pushing it down to make sure that I get all the little creases. And I'll just make sure it's nice and level. I'm taking my little stir stick and scrape off some extra that I got on there, excuse me, to try to get it as level as possible. Spray it with some more of the alcohol for some bubbles, just for a safe measure. Scrape it off, make sure it's nice and level. And I'm going to move it to the side to a heating mat that I have that I got from Amazon. Not quite sure what I was getting a paper towel to wipe off any of the excess that's on the outside of the mold. Just clean it nice and good. Once I'm done with that, then I'll move it over to the heating mat, which I don't show in the video, but I will have it down in my description box. And very carefully transfer it. And then I'm going to take this little container mold. I forget what they're called. I'll again put that in my description box. This I got from Temu. That little cork there is going to be the lid for it. So again, I'm going to take some of the 99% isopropyl alcohol and squirt all over in the inside of this to try to help prevent from any micro bubbles in it. And here in a couple minutes, I'm going to have a little guest, not a little guest, but a guest who is infatuated with popping his head into my videos. So I left a little bit of it in for some humor. It was pretty funny. But anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and put some more shells in there, because once you put the shells in there and you got to stir them in really slowly, there's more resin than shells, and I'm not really quite sure how to explain that, but there was just room to add more shells in. So I'm gonna again slowly pour it into this mold to try to keep from getting as least amount of bubbles as possible. And I'm gonna speed it up so that it doesn't take quite as long. Push it over to the sides. Here in a second, I'll be speeding it up. And this mold worked really well, and again, I got it from Temu, and very pleased with the outcome. Wasn't quite sure how it was gonna hold up, or not hold up, but how it was going to cure, I guess. Want to say hi, Wes?
Hello.
This is my little 8-year-old. He's gonna watch me do my voiceover. So as you can see, I don't have enough, so I'm gonna have to mix up some more here in a sec. Again, just very slowly dumping or pouring the rest of this first batch in.
Are you videoing?
Yes. Would you like to stick your head in there?
That would be nice.
Go ahead.
Well, now it's stupid.
Well, why? I'm gonna do a voiceover anyway, so.
Alright, we'll make it funny then. Can I touch this?
Yes. That one's done. Time is it?
Tuxedo?
No. Does it look like a suit?
Yeah, like a suit, right?
It's a sweater.
Oh. I know. Whatever. 3:30. I'm making some chicken tenders to snack on, and then I'll start cooking around 6.
Okay. All right, back to business. So for some reason, he just gets a kick out of sticking his face in my videos. I don't know what it is. So anyhow, so I'm going to scrape out the rest of this resin, because I hate to waste. Resin's expensive. Push it off to the sides there. And then I'm going to mix up another batch of resin once I try to move the resin down as much as I can, or to try to make sure there's no air pockets in there. And so this is the second batch, and again, I believe I mixed up 20 and 20 of part A, 20 of part B, still with the CC DIY's casting resin. I'm going to put a little more shells in, I believe, this time, so it's nice, and they're nice, and the shells are nice and saturated with the resin. I'm going to slowly pour in the mixture, because again, you don't want any air bubbles in this. And there, I'm going to speed it up for you, make sure to get through this, because otherwise this was like almost an hour long recording. So watching me do this for an hour can be quite boring. And there, I'm going to just squeeze it around and make sure, like I said, that it's all nice and even throughout the mold. And I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit here, and just going to top off the rest of this. Get it level with the top of the mold. It's actually the bottom, but from this angle, it's the top. And then I'm going to, I believe, get a little pendant mold. Nope, not yet. I think I'm probably still talking to him. This is where I'm just making sure that I've got enough in there. Not too much. making sure that they're level, that none of the shells are sticking out. Because I don't want to have to sand it or do anything to it. So then I'm going to spray it with the isopropyl alcohol, tap it for bubbles, give it another little squeeze. Just to make sure that we're getting a nice full mold. And there's the pendant mold. I'm going to fill all 3 of those up. These ones were a little harder because of the size of them, but just slowly, fill up the 3 of these. Take out any extras. You got a bug? Oh.
Who's on your face?
Oh, it's probably a mosquito. Sorry, I'm outside and doing my voiceover here, and the 8-year-old Wesley pointed out that I have a mosquito on me. There, those are all filled up, and we're gonna go ahead and take the rest of the epoxy that I have and not fill the heart, because I don't have enough to fill the heart, and I'm not gonna mix up more to fill up this little heart. So I don't finish the heart in this video, which you'll see. However, I will. But coming up next is going to be the demolding. Once I move these to the heating mat so that they can cure a little bit faster. There goes that. And then I'm going to take the little jar and move that one over very carefully. And up next, molding. So it's been over 24 hours since pouring these. It is time to demold them. I'm not going to demold the heart though, because it's not filled yet. So we'll save that for when I have some extra epoxy. And let's see here. We'll go ahead and do the seashell first, since that was my main focus on this video. Again, this is the mold from Maple Street Supplies. Was in my March subscription box with Butterfly Lane Designs. Let's go ahead and release it. A little extra flashing there, or over pour, I guess. Struggle. There is some little micro bubbles in there. Guess I kind of expected that. Love the abalone shell. Ooh, that is so pretty. Love how that turned out. It sits nice and pretty. Can do a little deburring on this, make it a little more level. But that is so pretty. I love it. Love that. All right, and this I used the Fast Set for this by Counterculture. This here I used the Counterculture's casting resin, because it's thicker and deeper. Go ahead and release this. And this mold here was Timu. Kind of roll that off. Oh, that's really cool. There is also some micro bubbles in there that I didn't really get very well, but it's all right. It's on the bottom of it. So. Okay, there we go. Let's twist that out. That is pretty pretty. I'll fix that later. What a cute little set. Very cool. And then I have the cork. And the cork fits right into there. Pretty cool. I don't know what I'll put in there, but and this too I'll have to do my little deburring on that. But very cool. And then we got these little pendants. You could probably stand to have what do you call that? Leveled off, or what do you call it? Doming. Probably dome those, but it's all right. This was just some leftovers, and ooh, those are really pretty. I love the abalone shell. They're all gonna be the same here. Super pretty. That one's really cool. Very cool. All right, so let me know what you thought of my video, what you think of my little shells and my shells. And thank you so much for watching. It was going to be the end of this video. If you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. And if you are not, please consider being a current subscriber. And until my next video, have a good day, have a good night, whatever it may be for you, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.